Uh, in the previous, like before Friday, we discussed about the FX revaluation. Sorry, FX revaluation guys. Okay. So earlier to that, we discussed about what is prepaid expenses and deferred revenue. Prepaid expenses and deferred revenue. So today, let's discuss about the very important and the major these are fixed asset accounting guys. Okay, so the fixed asset accounting. Okay, so under this, let's understand fixed asset is nothing but the assets, the asset which are which are purchased to generate the revenue of a company in a long run. The asset which are purchased to generate the revenue of a company in a long run is called fixed asset, guys. Okay. So company will purchase the fixed assets. What is the main purpose? To generate the revenue of a company in a long run. Okay. So the asset which are purchased the revenue of a company in a long run is called fixed asset, guys. The assets which are purchased to generate the revenue of a company in a long run. Okay. Okay, guys. So the assets are two types. We discussed assets are two types. So one is fixed asset and another one is current asset. So current asset is nothing but the asset which can be easily converted into cash within a 1 year of span. Okay. So normally in general terms, asset is asset is nothing but an asset. An asset is anything of value to the business. Okay, business owns or controls and expects to provide future economic economic benefit. So economic benefits. So normally asset is nothing but anything which gives the value to the company and future economic benefit. Those are called assets, guys. Assets are divided into how many types? Two types. Assets are two types. What are those, guys?
Current asset, fixed asset.
Yeah, fixed assets and current assets. Okay, so fixed assets and current assets. In fixed asset is nothing but the assets which are purchased to generate the revenue of a company in a long run. So fixed assets are how many types again? Again, fixed assets is divided into how many types, guys?
Two types.
What are those? Any idea? Tangible assets, intangible,
Tangible, intangible.
intangible, yes. Tangible assets and intangible assets. Okay. So what is meant by tangible assets? Tangible fixed assets, intangible fixed assets. Okay.
The assets which we
Tangible
can
is
touch.
we can see and touch.
The assets where physical existence, physical existence are there. That is where we can touch, where we can touch and see. Those assets are called as
Tangible.
those assets are called as tangible assets. Example, land, building, equipment, furniture, laptops, desktops, etc. Guys. Okay. Machinery. etc. So we have multiple things. Okay, the assets where the physical existence are there, where we can touch and see, those assets are called as tangible assets. And what is the next type of asset? It is
Intangible assets.
intangible assets. Okay, so the assets where no physical existence, no physical existence. We can't touch,
We can't feel and we can't see.
we can't touch, and we can't see. Okay, we can't see those,
Goodwill.
but there is a value to the company. There is a value to the company. Okay, so those are called intangible assets, guys. Example:
Goodwill.
goodwill,
Patents.
patent rights, patent rights, copyrights, trademarks. Okay, trademarks. So that is called fixed asset, guys. Okay, so that is called fixed asset. Assets are divided into two types. One is fixed assets and current asset. Fixed assets is nothing but the assets which will generate the revenue to the company in the long run. That is called fixed asset, guys. Okay, so normally asset is nothing but anything which gives the value to the company in the future. That is called asset. Asset is categorized into two types: fixed assets and current assets. Fixed asset is like the assets which will give the future revenue in a long run. That is called fixed asset. Fixed assets are two types: tangible and intangible. Tangible is nothing but where we can see, where we can touch, like land, building, equipment, furniture. Intangible is nothing but the asset which where we cannot able to touch. Okay, so that is called intangible assets, guys. Okay, see, let's understand the fixed asset importance, guys. Okay, see, every company will not run without having the fixed assets. Without having the fixed assets. Is my statement is true? Obviously, it is true, guys. So whatever the company it might be, if a company is running in a successful business, either they are into a software, either they are into manufacturing, either they are into hospital business, whatever the business it might be, guys. So if a company has been running for a longer period, so that indicates that the company required a fixed assets and they will have fixed assets. Okay. So, and very important thing here is every company will, every asset in a company, every asset in a company is monitored and tracked. Monitored and tracked. So before that, major portion of fixed assets depends upon depends upon the nature of business. Nature of business. So example, guys, see, I'm telling the majority of the fixed assets in a company depends upon the nature of business. Example, my company is a software development software company. So my company is a software company. What might be the most of the fixed assets in software company, guys? What is the major fixed assets in the software company?
Laptop.
If the employees need to work for a company and they need to develop the software, what is the important thing they required?
Computer
Desktops.
system.
Building system.
Is exactly laptops, desktops, servers, etc. So mouse is not a fixed asset, guys. Okay. So laptop, desktop, servers, etc. And if you go to a manufacturing company. So in this company, what will you see more?
Machinery.
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 production machineries. Production machineries is the basic things. I'm not telling in manufacturing company there is no laptops, there is no desktops. It is there. I'm telling the majority of the fixed assets. Okay. So if you go to construction based company, what is the majority of the fixed assets here, guys?
Construction
Raw
machinery.
Construction tools.
Construction
Equipment.
So if you go to logistics company, your company is into your logistics,
Vehicles.
large transportation vehicles. Okay. So see, one important thing you need to understand is the majority of the assets depends upon the nature of business. Okay. So if you go to software company, laptops, desktops, manufacturing company, production machineries, company, construction equipments, logistic company, large equipments. Okay. So large equipments is the majority of the thing. Okay. So that is very important thing to be. Okay. And every asset in a company is monitored and tracked. Okay. So how it is monitored? I'm telling even a small asset to a big asset, it is monitored. So example, you are going to leave a company, guys. You are using a laptop. That is also a very old laptop. Is it a they will leave without taking that laptop, guys?
No.
Did they will relieve you without taking the laptop? Did they will provide the
No.
final certificate without giving the laptop? Even it is
No.
very old also, they will collect. So how they are coming? How they are coming with the details? You are going to relieve. So how did they know you are going to relieve the company? The accountant team will know the company who you are going to relieve the company. No. How can they track? That is a very big important question, guys. So in a company, there are lakhs plus laptops, 1,000 plus different desktops. Okay, so different assets are there. Even a small asset to a big asset in all the MNC companies are tracked using the fixed asset tracking system. What is that system called as, guys? Fixed asset tracking system. They will maintain the data. Fixed asset tracking system will maintain the data in one application that is called fixed asset tracker, or it is called as fixed asset register. Fixed asset register. So what is it called, guys? Fixed asset tracker or fixed asset register. So as soon as you log out for the company and you are going to relieve the company, if you go and submit the laptop, they will scan that barcode reader. Once they scan the barcode reader, all the details related to asset will display or not, guys, there. What's your name?
It will get displayed.
From when you're starting using that laptop, under whom you are working. So all the details they will come to know. Whether this laptop is in working condition. If it is fine, then only they will send a mail to the HR and payroll team to do the processing of your final settlement. Is it correct?
Yes.
If anything is there, they will refund, they will give the money, guys. If any damages,
No.
no, they will deduct from our salaries. So how it is possible? They are maintaining the trackers that is called as fixed asset tracker. Okay, so a fixed asset tracking system. So every asset in a company, in a company, in a company identified with identified with identified with asset serial number, asset serial number. So the people who are working with any MNC company, once before login today, turn your laptop and check in the backside. That is one sticker is pasted, guys. Yes, did you seen that? Did you observe that? There is one sticker is pasted. So some companies will use the barcode reader system. Some companies will use the manual system. They will write that number or else they will print that number and paste into the backside. Like example, if it is related to Infosys, which location it is and what is the asset number. So all these details they will update. Okay, so every asset in a company is been identified with asset serial number. Asset serial number is the tracking system, guys. So even example, we are taking a transportation vehicles, guys. That is office transport, office cabs we are taking. So even the vehicle number, whatever it might be, in the back side, according to the vendor, they will paste the number, the vendor code 1, 2, 3, 4. Identified that, guys? Yes, vendor code with vehicle number. Did you identify that? For every
Yes.
vehicle, they will give one serial number. So how, why they are giving to identify and track the assets, whether the asset is in working condition or in not working condition, whether it is good or not. So everything will be monitored using this tracking system, guys. Okay. So even a very small asset to a big asset, every asset in the backside, they will paste one sticker that consists of asset number, asset ID, when it is purchased, from when it is started using, from how many days the lifespan of the asset, what is the total cost of asset, what is the depreciation, and what is the lifespan. So, example, there is a company policy that. So, what is the life expectancy of the computers, office equipment? Is that is computer and equipments normally as per the company laws? Did anyone have idea? Is anyone idea what is the lifespan of asset computer lifespan? See guys, for every asset, whatever it might be, so there is a lifespan. Okay, so some companies like if it is, it will falls under as per the company law. If it is desktops, laptops, and any IT equipments, the lifespan is 3 years. If your lifespan is completed, they will ask you to use that laptop, and they will ask you to return the laptop and exchange with a new one, guys. Did you face any issues like that? Like your life, even it is working condition, they will replace the laptops. I've seen many cases. So for every asset, there is a lifespan. So lifespan is nothing but as per the company's laws, we need to use this asset for only 3 years. After that, if the company, the asset is in a working, even it is in working condition, they will ask you to replace. So what they will do, they will sell that old assets and they will give the new one to the company. So all those details, tracking of lifespan, tracking of asset number, whether it is in working condition, not working condition, whether it is a leased one or owned, whether it is a company owned transport or a company leased transport, all those details will be updated in one tool called as fixed asset tracker. Fixed asset tracker consists of, okay, so fixed asset tracker consists of asset serial number, asset ID, asset class, acquisition date, acquisition date, purchase value, purchase value, depreciation, depreciation, cost of asset, cost of asset, etc. So all this will be consist in the fixed asset tracker. Okay, so that is called as fixed asset tracking system. Is fixed asset tracking system. Okay, guys, understand the importance of this, guys.
Yes.
You understand the basics. Why I am trying to tell is, like, you need to understand how the companies are tracking. So while explaining the process, I used to tell the fixed asset serial number. So you know what is serial number now? What is the meaning of serial number, guys? For every asset, there is one serial number. Asset number is also called as asset serial number. Understand, guys? Okay, so how the assets are maintained in the companies, like in MNC companies, if there is no proper fixed asset, and many times the HR asked a question, guys, sorry, managers ask the question in the interviews, like if there is no proper fixed asset tracking system, what is the, what will happen to the company? As per your experience, can you guide me? Okay, so the most important challenging is loss to the company, guys. Because even see example, you're going to relieve the company. If you does not get a mail to submit the laptop, you did not submit it. And the final settlement also you received to you. Like that laptop, what you not submitted, is it a loss to the company or gain to the company, guys?
Loss.
Loss. Like that, if 10 to 15 employees will do the same thing to the company, what will happen? It's a financial losses. So that's the reason the companies will strictly maintain the fixed asset trackers to ensure that there is no such kind of financial losses happening to the company. Is clear? Understand? Is understand this?
Yes, bro.
Okay. This is about the basic introduction about the fixed asset, guys. Okay. So very important thing which companies will maintain in the maintenance. So every company in MNCs will follow the same set of categorizations and the asset things which will maintain. Okay. Clear? Yes, understand, guys?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let me show you one of the fixed asset tracker, how it is being maintained. Okay, how it is being maintained in the real time. Yes, can you see the screen, guys?
Yes, bro.
Okay. This is about the fixed asset registers. They will maintain the data in backend. Okay, so this will give the total summary of how the assets are maintained. So before setting up, they're giving some instructions like what is this? Like what is the code of LB, guys? What is the meaning of LB? Asset code, LB. If any asset starts with LB, what is the nature of that asset?
Land and buildings.
Plant and building. PM, plant and machinery, plant and equipment. Okay, so CE, computer equipment. OE, office equipment. FF, furniture and fixtures. MV, motor vehicles. See here, they given one code LBU01. What is this LB? LB indicates what is the case? Land and buildings,
Land and building.
under machinery. Okay, so for every account, for every nature of asset, they're given one. Okay, so that is called as asset code, guys. Okay, so what is the percentage of depreciation they has to charge? See, for plant and equipment, they given 20% as per the company policy. How many years the lifespan of the plant and equipment, guys? How many years the
5
lifespan?
total.
Sorry.
5 years.
5 years. Okay, so and so this is like plant and equipment special. How many years they given the usage of this particular asset? 3 years.
3 years.
Have any depreciation after 3 years? No.
Zero
So
point zero 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 point.
plant buildings, it is five. It will goes okay, and again small assets. Okay, computer and equipment like that. Okay, so what is the percentage that has to charge the depreciation also they given here. Okay, so let's go to the asset now here. So here see what is LB0001. LB indicates
Land and buildings.
factory land. What is the asset serial number? 99843. So factory land, and is it owned or leased? Owned one. So what is the total value of depreciation? What is the total value of asset? It is
15 lakh.
15 lakhs dollars. Okay. So did the land will get depreciated, guys? Did the
No.
land will get depreciated? No depreciations.
Not.
Okay.
No.
Like that, see, you can check the value. So when the land is purchased, it is purchased on 18. So land last transaction rate like this. So if you go to here, see every asset, guys. So what is PP? It is
Plant and machinery.
what is going to be PP, guys? You can check here. We have down. So this is used for vehicles, guys. Okay. So this Toyota is a vehicle. Okay. So is it a owned or leased? It is leased one. So when it has been purchased, okay. So like that, see office desk. It is a own, that is furniture. Office desk falls under which category, guys? Furniture. Office desk falls under which category? Furniture. Okay. So is it a owned or leased? Owned one. Okay, so same way Dell they have been purchased the Dell as Dell desktops. How many desktops they purchased? 5. Is it a owned or leased? Owned one.
Owned.
Okay. They have HP laser printer. Okay. So this is for office maintenance, office equipment. Okay. And so they have been purchased one Microsoft license. As we discussed, every company has to purchase the license. That is computer this thing. And they have been taken on motor vehicles for office use. So is it a owned or leased? Leased.
Leased.
So like this, here only 30 to 40 assets are there. In the real time, it is a lakhs plus assets, guys. Did you got the clarity how they will maintain the details? Yes, understand? Is clear? Okay, guys. So this is about the basic introduction about how the companies are maintaining in the backend. Okay. So in which system they will maintain the details, guys? That is fixed asset tracking tool. Okay. So nowadays some applications even it is developed for fixed asset tracking, and some applications, some companies are using manual Excel files to track that. So let's see about fixed asset cycle. Fixed asset cycle. Okay, fixed asset cycle. So what is the how the fixed asset cycle will start, guys? Okay, so fixed asset cycle. So fixed asset cycle. 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, guys. I will move this to upload. Serious. So let's see about the fixed asset cycle. How the fixed asset cycle will start and what are the various things. So very important technical question in the real time list. So many times they ask it, can you take me through your fixed asset cycle? Okay. So how the asset lifespan will start. Okay. So when the asset will start and when the asset will ends. Okay. So this kind of questions, technical questions we used to get more. So let's put concentration on these guys. Okay, see, fixed asset life cycle starts with fixed assets life cycle. Okay, life cycle starts. So it starts with procuring of asset, registering of asset, adjusting of asset, transferring of asset, and depreciation of asset, and depreciation of asset, and finally disposal of asset. Disposal of asset. Okay, so let's understand each and every asset with the lifespan. Okay, so first is procuring of an asset, guys. What is the important thing? Procuring. So procuring of asset, procuring of asset. It is also be called as purchasing of a asset, purchase of asset, purchase of asset. Okay, see guys. So before purchasing of any asset, what the P2P team will does? First, they will identify the requirements of asset, or identify the requirements of assets. Okay, so prepare the detailed report of asset requirement with cost. So and get the approval from manager. Get the approval from manager. So once the approval is received, then they will seek the quotations from different vendors. Different vendors. Choosing the best vendor from available vendors. Available vendors. Choosing the best vendor from the available vendors. Placing the purchase order. placing the purchase order. Order, asset, delivered. Asset delivered. See guys, so if any asset is required, first they will example assume there is a newly 100 employees joined to the organization. So the newly joined employees, whether they are working for software development, whether they are working for any other process, first they will understand what is their requirement. So if they want to work on software development like IT people, they require a highly configured laptops because they need to save the large data and they will execute the programs. So first they will understand the requirements. After understanding, they will prepare the detailed report and they can purchase. Can they purchase without getting the manager approval? Yes, they need to take the admin approval whether they can purchase or not. So once they get a request approved, first they will identify the first to seek the quotations from different vendors who is supplying that particular asset, either machineries, laptops, whatever it might be, and they will choose the best one from the available. First, they will see even if you require any laptop, what you will do. You will see all the like e-commerce websites like Flipkart, Amazon, different websites will you visit. Even if it is not feasible, you will try to visit the local stores. You will check where it is getting very less cost with the services. So based on that, you will place the order. Same way, the companies will check the feasibility and check the different vendors who is supplying, and they will place the purchase order, guys. So once the purchase order is done, asset will be delivered. So what is the normal journal entry for asset delivered, guys? What if asset is purchased, what is the entry we need to record?
Asset account debit.
Asset purchase account data.
Debit
Asset
to
account debit to vendor account. Okay. So that is if it is ready to use, ready to use, ready to use, the companies will directly debit asset account debit to vendor account. If it is not ready to use, not ready to use, can they directly debit the asset account, guys?
No.
no.
Vendor we can do it.
They will debit either AUC or CIP. What is meant by AUC, guys? Asset under construction. Under construction. Asset under construction. CIP means construction in progress. So either they debit any these two accounts and account debit to vendor account. So why they are not debiting directly to asset account? Did they came to know
Because asset is not ready to use.
not ready to use? They need to take out all the expenses incurred for this asset. So example, you purchase the asset for 1 lakh and there is a installation cost of 10,000. Will you tell 1 lakh 10,000 or 1 lakh the cost of asset?
1 lakh.
Example, you started your business, guys. In that you purchase the machinery for 10,000 and that a machinery that building cost is take 1 lakh or 10 lakhs, whatever it is. So will you say the business total cost or so total investment is 10 lakhs or will you say only machinery value 1 lakh?
Say total amount.
Whenever the companies will doing the consideration of asset, they need to take out all the expenses. They will take the historical cost of the asset. What is the purchase volume? What is the installation charges? All other expenses will be considered. Totally, they will do the capitalization. Yes, agreed? Understand, guys?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So what the first important stage is procuring of an asset. So the next stage is registering of an asset. Registering of asset. So this we can see on with the with steps in the tomorrow session is because I'm getting on call, very important call. I need to join that. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.